Once you create a course, you're able to start building content immediately. In this case, I'm showing you the CS Awesome template. In the CS Awesome template, as well as all of our templates, you have many different course pages and content pre-built for you. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is that all your Coding Rooms course content is organized into modules. So these little folder icons you see here, right now with a lock on them, are all modules. And inside of those modules, you can have different content pages, activities, assignments that your students can work on. You can organize your pages into as many modules as you need. You can even put modules inside of modules. Whenever you click this Create button, you'll be able to create modules for your course. When you have those modules, you can move them around and arrange them however you want them to appear for your course, as well as you can put modules inside of modules, as I'd mentioned. For instance, I can drag Unit 2 inside of this Unit 1 for CS Awesome. I can change the order of these to put 2 in front of 1. We can do all that kind of arranging. Now, the pages that you see here in CS Awesome are what we call interactive lesson pages. All of the Coding Rooms pages have tons of rich content you can add to them. This is all made possible with our rich Markdown editor, where, just like a Google Doc, you can collaboratively edit these pages. You just start typing. You can highlight text and format it. And where the real magic happens is when you click this plus sign and you get access to our block menu to work with the page. First and foremost, we have our interactive blocks. These are all the elements on the page that the student can interact with. But you also have ways that you can organize your content on the page. You have all your formatting commands in here, as well as some more complex blocks to insert images and attach files to your page, create custom content with HTML and CSS, a number of different things. The range of interactive blocks allow you to add that interactivity, actual assessment pieces to the page for students to interact with. Things like multiple choice questions and short answer questions, to Parsons problems where students can resequence code. Let's look at a couple examples of these on our CS Awesome example page. We can see here we have a Coding Rooms IDE where students can write and run code. Here at the instructor level, we can design the template we want students to receive when they open the page. You can see we have the embed block where we can embed YouTube videos and other websites. We have a Parsons problem block where students will have to mix, the block will automatically mix up these lines of code and the students will have to put them in the proper order. You can even add distractors to the Parsons problems so that there'll be leftover blocks that students shouldn't use in order to complete the solution. And here we can see some multiple choice questions. At any time, you can click to view the preview and see what the students will see, how they interact with the multiple choice questions, and to make sure you've selected the appropriate correct answer. Now, there is one other page type that you can select. Let me click the Create button. What we just looked at is an interactive lesson, but we also have a coding assignment page type. What's the difference? Well, honestly, they're pretty much exactly the same. All the wonderful things you just saw briefly that you can do on an interactive lesson, you can also do that on a coding assignment. The only difference is the coding assignment will have a large IDE always on the right-hand side, that no matter where students scroll on the page, they always have access to that IDE. You'll notice that on that previous screen, it asked you for the programming language, and you have to set that up when you create the page, because this ID is now part of that page. As I add content over here, and add other interactive blocks like multiple choice questions, whatever it may be, students will be able to scroll up and down on this left-hand side, just like they have an interactive lesson page. But they always will have this ID on the right-hand side. Our users love this type of page for more programming project type scenarios where you have mainly instructions, maybe a checklist, and maybe even a quick knowledge check on the left, but the primary focus of the page is to code in one IDE. Of course, you can use the interactive lesson and the coding assignment however you'd like. You can exclusively use coding assignments, or you can exclusively use interactive lessons. That's the power of coding rooms. You pick what works best for your course and your students.